What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. You know, I talked yesterday about the new sponsorship with Steel Supplements, link down in the description. A lot of people ask me, what's my favorite product? I like a lot of their products, but I gotta say, one of the products that surprised me the most was the Veg Pro Hot Cocoa. You know, this year we've all been challenged. One of the things I tried to do was limit the amount of animal, especially red meat, that I eat, so a vegan protein appealed to me when it really wouldn't have before. If you had this protein powder, and I'm not a big protein powder guy, I like to eat real food, but if you had this protein powder, you would not know that it's vegan. It's absolutely delicious. Link down in the description. They got a Black Friday sale if you want to check it out. If not, my discount code will be there afterwards. But today we learned, I'm going to show you some clips from my Twitch live stream last night as well. Anyone that wants to defend this game, there's a half an hour gameplay quarter over there that shows how broken it is. But this tells me EA has a real problem in understanding how broken their game is. They do this Madden Minute today to talk about how next-gen stats are going to affect Madden 21. And it's so intriguing that this is how they're choosing to sell their product. Tyler Lockett, 21 mile per hour top speed, 30 mile per hour. I assume that's the average, okay? So the problem I have with this is, for years and years and years, EA has promoted everything is compartmentalized through numbers, through ratings. So if you're doing this, you're not going to get that variance. Tyler Lockett doesn't always take the same speed course, right? He's not always doing the same thing. So it's intriguing now that they want to bring this into the game, but here's where we know they get lost. Even with Clint as a former practice lineman, look at this pocket, guys. It's NFL driven. It's a real pocket. Going to the live stream the other night, look at this pocket, right? This isn't even anywhere near what it should be. From the player position to the blocking in unison to the basic communication of an offensive line. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is this, because they show here a wide receiver basically being bracketed. This is something Madden has really struggled with, but right here, the Michelin Man is catching this pass, okay? So they show right here, and this is where I just get dumbfounded. It's like, how do they even think they can sell us this as gamers? Do they really think that we don't play their game, that we don't understand? So, Madden, to many of us, is a dice roll. It's had this catch probability built into it from the beginning. So the fact that they're now showing the Michelin Man catching this pass, which appears to be wide open, and I guess simply because of the position of the ball to the receiver, they're saying, well, this is going to be caught 23% of the time. We're going to integrate this in to the game to make it more realistic. Well, I'm going to show you two examples here of why this is a real problem in terms of Madden already, and this isn't going to make it better. So next-gen stats don't fix your problem. When Campbell goes to catch this pass, and the linebacker's there, and he goes into a catch, what probability matters now? What is the catch percentage that's happening now to fix this game? This is the problem, okay? We all know it. This right here is not the solution. When you can go back and watch this game, enter and exit animations, we don't need to be told, well, now we're basing this off real-world data. Well, what in the world was it based on before? Because you weren't seemingly basing it enough on player ratings, because once players started to blend together, those didn't matter. So for years you've told us, oh, we go through all these ratings that Equipment Guru determines, and we make all these adjustments to change the game, but now you're saying all that goes out the window because you've got this real-world data that you're going to use. This is stupid. We needed a new game. We needed a new implementation of how players move. We needed a new implementation of maybe an animation system, but animations in this game, to go into another example, are so rough. You can watch every one of these players go into animations. And just like before, what is the catch probability now? This ball is going through the player's face. These clips were taken last night, completely live, 1/4 of gameplay. So what is the catch probability now? Where are next-gen stats coming into this? Right? The ball does not go through a player. Players do not go through players in real life. Yet EA is sitting here telling us, well, we're going to drive this game off next-gen stats. No. You had to go back and completely rebuild the base that you had because it's completely broken. And everyone that plays this game realizes it. And when you come out today and you literally sit here and you try to tell us, well, this is how it's going to affect Madden 21, you understand we have the game now, right? Does EA not realize that? Is that where they get confused? We have Madden 21 right now. So when you tell us how it's going to affect the game, we have to have a better understanding of how it's going to improve the game. We don't care how it's going to affect it, you see. We care how it's going to make it better. You're trying to sell us a different product. Are we following along, EA? You're trying to sell us an improved product on a next-gen console. Don't tell us how something's going to affect it. Tell us how it's going to improve it. We can go back and look at years of Madden gameplay and understand that you overlaying stats from the NFL or not don't really impact the game that we play. The same way for years, you sat there and you had your ratings gurus, you had your equipment, or remember your performance adjusters that came out to the games, how you hyped that up, how you told us, oh, this player made a spectacular catch, so now his rating goes up. It's going to change how the game plays. And we realized it didn't, right? You can have Chad Johnson sit there this year and break down a number of players, a number of plays, and you can say that they're going to get ratings adjustments. You can go through and have your relationship with insurance companies and do your underrated segments that showcase how you're changing ratings on players, but it's never impacted the game because the core is broken. Because your game is so dependent on animations and your animations are so limited that you can literally go play a half, a quarter, a drive in this game and see players that go through each other, the ball going through players, players that don't understand how to block, players that don't recognize assignments. I don't even show it, but in this game, Joe Burrow was scrambling, got to the line of scrimmage and threw the ball backwards 4 yards to Joe Mixon, who was standing right in front of Darius Leonard. The reason this happened was because none of the receivers who ran curls decided they were going to extend their routes when the actual pocket broke down. Next-gen stats don't fix this. Hard work, and this is where EA struggles. This is where I'm talking specifically to you, Clint. You guys are telling us that the stats are going to do the work for you, that the next-gen stats are going to make the game better. Your community is smarter than this. We know that the only thing that will make this game better is hard work, is sitting down and reprogramming, is going out and putting in different technology. This is something EA has been reluctant to do for years. This is why many of us say the game code in this game is from the 90s, is from the 2000s, is not current. This is why I can do a video like last night where we show all Pro Football 2K8 sidelines that seemingly are better, if not at the same level, Madden is selling us on next gen. You have to actually do the work, EA developers. You actually have to get into the game code and build a better product. There is no Band-Aid for this. You've tried them for years. The community is now beyond the point of thinking that stats and ratings will change the game. I just showed you in a quarter of play, you can see all the flaws on display. And it's not even hidden from you. If you think that we had to go analyze those replays to determine the ball went through a player or two players went through each other, go watch it. It's clear as day. As soon as you're playing the game and you see these things happen, you know players have clipped through each other. You know the ball has clipped through players. You can see. We have actually played this game, the same game, for so long, gamers now recognize when animations start. We can see them. You've actually taught us to recognize when your game goes into animations. But now you're going to sit here and tell us that somehow using this real-world data, which doesn't even correlate to your video game, because personally, I don't believe the players in field are scaled properly, you're going to convert players into miles per hour and get that on the field? Your pass trajectories aren't right. Your pass arcs aren't correct. How are you going to get players running upfield right when the pass arcs are wrong? Who thought this was a good idea? Obviously not people that know the product, that know the community, that hear the feedback. Right? Backbreaker sold itself on physics years ago. You're not even selling yourself on physics, you're selling yourself on tackle percentages, apparently. Percentages aren't football. Stats aren't football. We want unique, immersive moments. You haven't given that to us in the past, and you're not giving it to us now. And seemingly, you're aware of this and just refuse to put in the hard work to change your product. And if this isn't enough to prove it to anyone in this community, I don't know what to tell you. But I have a video coming up later tonight that proves beyond the shadow of a doubt it's worse than we think, because they can't even get Madden Ultimate Team. They're letting a cash cow starve because they can't put in the hard work to make this game better on any game mode. Appreciate you guys checking this out, and you know I will be back in the week with more commentary.